Um, okay, welcome to Colony Marketing. So basically, there's been a lot of different technology tools that have come out over the last couple of years related around AI. I've been in marketing for about 20 years, everything from my own startups that have been covered in national media, primetime television, to larger companies like Meta and Coinbase. The issue with working at a larger company is a lot of times due to security and technology concerns, you're not allowed to experiment with a lot of the new tools right off the bat. You need to kind of go through a security and procurement process, which is great and it makes sense for those companies. But that means I didn't have anything to test with. So what I've done is I've created a e-commerce store that we can use as a testing ground over the next couple months to try out all of these new tools and see which ones work. And so what I'd like to do today is just walk you through the e-commerce shop to kind of show you that we're at baseline level right now, walk you through the marketing plan, and then we're going to go through this step by step over the next several months, and you can see how these tools work. And then we'll put it all together at the end. So let's dive into it. For starters, this is the e-commerce shop. It's called Wander Badges. It's pretty simple. I wanted a shop where I don't have to deal with a bunch of inventory. So this is all like print on demand stuff. Essentially, they're little travel badges like you see on like suitcases, on the side of suitcases, but these have a little QR code on them where you can scan them and then like upload a photo from that vacation or where you are. So that way, when you have these on the back of your laptop and your suitcase, and you ever want to kind of relive that memory, you just hold your phone up to it, scan a QR code, and it'll take you right back to that memory so you can relive it. So pretty simple, but also somewhat unique. Okay, so that's the shop. It's just based on hosted on Shopify right now. It's a very simple plan. I'm going to go back into the back here. Now, before I kicked this off, I did run some paid marketing against it just to see what kind of conversion rates I was getting, because if it was a product that nobody wanted, it wasn't going to matter how good the marketing was, and we wouldn't be able to do any of these experiments. So the good news is, if I go into the analytics here, and I look at lifetime. Now I turned off all of the paid marketing for this experiment. If we look at, let's see, it's just like, I think I turned it on like July or something. Just check out where we were. Compared to third quarter. Oh, this still did today. That was weird. Okay, let's do year to date. There we go. Okay, so did about $2,000 in sales over like the 2 months that was open. So was able to drive sales. Again, turn the ads off, so the sales have kind of dropped to zero. Conversion rates look pretty healthy. Add to cart, reach checkout, sessions converted. I think this could be like a little bit higher. So that's great. That gives us some room to improve and experiment with these tools as well. Okay. Now I am going to look at the Colony checklist. Okay, so here is a checklist that I put together. There's basically 7 stages from crafting your story to measurement. I think it's really, really important now more than ever that you spend time understanding your customer and the pain points in your story. Because even if you start to use some of these AI automation tools, I'm sure you've noticed this before, where you get a message or even a card sometimes, and you can tell that the person used ChatGPT, right? Because they're not even trying to be original with the script. And so I think these tools can do a lot of writing for you. And I think they can save you a ton of time, both on email, social media, even your website copy. But you have to start with an original story that cuts through. And so we're going to do that. That part's going to be manual, but it's going to save you a ton of time using these tools later. Then we'll go into how to, identify your audience and segment them. These are very like classic marketing messages, channels, tactics, team, and measurement. So the team is really what this is all about. It's about saying, okay, who are our players on our marketing team? You have your SEO specialist, you have your graphic designer, and there's usually about 8 key roles for a core team. And we're going to see how many of those we can augment or optimize so your team members can be really, really fast. And depending on your level of sophistication, you might even have AI tools here that can take some of those roles over for you. So you don't have to, spend a ton of money hiring out a big team until you're ready for, someone to come in full time. And so ideally at the end of this, you would sit there as the CMO and you would have a team of 8 AI agents that are kind of doing everything for you as long as you have your messaging and your audience nailed down. Okay, so let's go back into here. So what we're going to do is you see this marketing checklist. You're going to be able to kind of like download or make a copy of this. I'll probably put one out on Notion as well for you Notion optimist. So I'm going to make a copy of this and I'm going to call this Wander Badges. And you can get rid of Colony if you want, or you can leave it, whatever. Let's get rid of that. Okay, and we'll change this to Wander Badges, marketing checklist. Cool, and get rid of that. So this is my copy. Okay, and first is craft your story. Identify the pain points your customers are facing and describe them. So as a business owner, you should kind of know this. These are your customers. If it's brand new, you might need to be doing some experimenting. But this is going to assume that you already have a business and you kind of know your customers somewhat and you know what pain points that you're trying to solve for them. So now we're going to pull up this first document called Craft Your Story. And again, I'm just going to make a quick copy of this. And I'll get rid of Craft Your Story and we'll replace Colony with Wander Badges. Great. Get rid of the original. And as we start to go through this, you can see there's little check boxes so we can cross these off. And I'll try to put video tutorials in for these. Like this will be one of the video tutorials that you might see. Okay, so your company name, Wander Badges. And we can get rid of that and make a copy because we've already done that. Okay, so use this template to quickly define your brand, what problems you're trying to solve, why people should trust you, and how to explain your value in a simple way. It also helps identify where your audience spends time and the content they like. Once completed, you can easily feed this into AI tools to enhance your marketing efforts going forward. All right, so for starters, what pain points are you solving? So describe the specific pain point your audience is experiencing. Consider both short-term frustrations and long-term challenges. Okay, so for Wander Badges, it's really about reliving your adventures or vacations. So you could call that losing track of your photos. You could say that it's about enhancing the look of negative spaces like back of a laptop, suitcase. And usually I like to pick 3 to 5 of all of these things if I can. And let's see. Let's say the other one is sharing memories with family and friends. Great. Okay, so how does it do that? All right, so our product allows customers to save their photos to the cloud or point to a social media website where they already exist. They can scan a QR code that redirects the scanner back to a photo or album from that location. And then they can collect badges from all of the places they've visited around the world. Cool. All right. So what makes you credible? So this one, again, I picked travel also because, as you can kind of see that behind me, I'm a big fan of travel. So I've actually, I've visited over 100 countries around the world. So this is a product that I actually wanted to exist, and I have these stickers all over my laptop and suitcase. Um, I've been working for social media and technology companies for just put companies, and then the last one is what would be another good one for me? I've had products featured on ABC, Wired Magazine, and as one of Oprah's favorite things. That's true. So from a consumer product perspective, there's a lot of credibility there. And then what makes you different? So I'd say traditional travel stickers aren't interactive. Wander badges are personal and customizable. And then the photos are stored online, so you can't lose them. Unlike a sticker, where if you lose your laptop, it's done. Okay, cool. So that is section number 1. So I'm going to go back to my marketing checklist here, and I'm going to say, great, we've crafted the story, we've described the solutions, we've established credibility, and we've shown how our brand is different. So as you can see, that one didn't use any tools because you could use ChatGPT for something to kind of ideate if you wanted to, but the idea is you should have kind of an understanding, and those things should come from the heart, so to speak. So that way, when you do use AI, at least it's coming from an origin of someplace a little bit more organic. Okay, and now we'll move over to audience next.